Welcome back to Kentucky Sports Television. We're happy now to be joined via Skype by CBSSports.com's Jeff Goodman. Jeff, always enjoy having you. Thanks for taking some time to talk with us.
No problem. I even dressed up for you.
I know, yeah, jacket. I like it. UK basketball right now, they won a couple of games after those back-to-back losses. It doesn't seem like everything is fixed. They're still not in the top 25 in one of the polls. What's your assessment of where they are right now and what kind of team John Calipari has?
You know, we all ranked him too high. I mean, again, we thought that Cal could do somewhat what he did a year ago. Obviously, he doesn't have the same level of not even talent, but maybe competitors, and certainly a team that fits together quite as well as it did last year. We overrated him. We know that now, but that doesn't mean they can't be a very good team at the end of the year and be a Final Four caliber team. I still say, and I've said it from day one, it rests primarily on the shoulders of Ryan Harrow, because with Ryan Harrow back playing the point, and I think Cal's got to give him 30 minutes. Just give him the 30 minutes, let him play through it. You might take some losses, especially over the next few weeks when they're not playing great competition, so that then he can hopefully get his confidence up, which is something he clearly needs, and then they can be the team that people thought they'd be with Goodwin playing off the ball, where he's clearly more effective, more comfortable, everything else.
They seem to have a problem with maybe not leadership, I guess, and assertiveness. Is Ryan Harrow that type of guy? You know, he can improve his play, but is he really the type of point guard that can be the vocal leader and basically get after guys and earn that respect as a leader?
No, I don't think he's going to be that, but I think Cal can take that. You know, I was talking to Tom Izzo earlier this year, and he lost Draymond Green, maybe the best leader, one of them, I think he said with Mateen Cleaves he's ever had, one of the best leaders I've ever seen covering this sport. And he doesn't have one this year. And, you know, they're out of the top 25 right now, just like Kentucky, and he's going through some of the same things with leadership. I think it falls more on the coaches, guys like Izzo and Cal, but you need some of those other guys to collectively be able to do it. I don't think one guy, I know Nerlens really well. I know Poitras. These aren't leaders. Wiltshire, really quiet. So Cal really has an issue in terms of leadership, and I think that may hold them back from being a national title team, winning 6 straight. But I do think they can win 4 straight and get to the Final Four again.
Where do they factor in right now into the whole national landscape? You said they ranked too high early on. Now they're out of the top 25. There are a lot of teams that have looked great, some that have also looked a mess. Where do you rank them in terms of where they are right now, or maybe where they could be at the end of the season?
You know, I think there's not a lot of separation, and we do the poll every week, between like 11 or 10. Right now, Illinois is 10, okay? If Illinois is playing Kentucky today, anywhere, neutral court, you pick it. I don't care where it is. You can play in Bloomington, Indiana. And I'm taking Kentucky. I know Illinois is ranked number 10. I know they just beat Gonzaga out in Spokane in one of the toughest arenas. I still say that Kentucky could beat them today and will beat them if it's a month or 6 weeks down the line. Again, Illinois has proven it so far. They've won games, but they've got one player in Brandon Paul that's been there. Now, he's been there 4 years. That's the difference. Brandon Paul and DJ Richardson, their 2 top players, have been there. They're on their 4th season, and that's why teams like Illinois, you're seeing Notre Dame beat Kentucky because they've got all veterans. Kentucky, you hear it all the time. I mean, they've got the upside, they've got the youth. But again, what I worry about is, again, the point guard, the leadership, and the depth. We were talking on a podcast the other day, last week, me and Gary Parrish, about, and I brought up kind of an interesting point, that it's surprising for as great a recruiter as Cal is, and he's the best, no doubt about it. You can't really question anything with his recruiting. But if he's so great, I don't understand why then he wouldn't have a better 7, 8, 9, 10 guys that come in as 4-year players that are maybe top 100 caliber players that could help when a Ryan Harrow can't handle it right now.
When you look at the SEC, I know you wrote an article, you think it's a little underwhelming. Florida looked impressive against Florida State, but that's Florida State. Some people like Ole Miss. Tennessee can't score the ball. The overall picture of the SEC, Cal said before the year he thought 8 teams would get in the tournament. Looks like a little bit of a stretch right now. What's your take on the conference?
Yeah, I mean, everybody says that. I'm not blaming Cal for that one. You got to say that about your league, as Kay does, as whoever, Sean Miller does out in Arizona. It doesn't matter. The league's not very good. I mean, it's not. Listen, You've got Florida that's right now that play the toughest schedule and is being rewarded for it by blowing out Marquette, Wisconsin, and at Florida State. I'm going to see them play Saturday night in Tucson against Arizona. It'll be interesting to see if they can win that one. But, I think part of it is a lot of these teams didn't play great schedules, including, Kentucky didn't play as good a schedule as they probably could have or should have. But now looking back on it, you say, you know what, Cal knew what he was doing, because if they had lost another one or two, you'd be talking about them really having to do work in league play just to get in the NCAA tournament. Missouri is a team that I thought could have been a Final Four contender. Now I'm not so sure without Michael Dixon. They've got all these transfers. I'm just not sure how they're going to hold up, how their chemistry is going to be. And then Ole Miss is a fraud. They just lost to Middle Tennessee. Tennessee can't score. LSU's undefeated, but they haven't played anybody. Georgia stinks right now. I mean, there's a lot of bad teams in the SEC right now. You should be commissioner or do the marketing for the SEC. That was an impressive run through all the teams right there in the synopsis. Before we let you go, December 29th, UK U of L. In case we don't talk to you before then, a team in Louisville looks very physical and very confident. Some of the things that Kentucky is not. Is that a bad matchup for the Cats heading into that game? Yeah, I think it depends if Gorky Jang's back and how close to 100% he is at that point. They're going to need him desperately. Against some teams, you can get away with Zach Price and Stephen Van Treese, but against Nerlens and Willie Cauley-Stein and that length, they're going to need Gorky Jang. But, there's a reason I picked Louisville to win it all this year. They have pretty much everything other than perimeter shooting, and that comes and goes. And if Luke Hancock gets it back like he had it for a game out in the Bahamas, it kind of becomes something where everybody starts to chip in. Russ Smith can make one here or there. Peyton Siva can make, one or two, and then they're not quite as bad. But I'll be there for that game. I think it's still going to be a very good game, but at Louisville, it's going to be a tough task for Kentucky to win that one. All right, Jeff Goodman, CBSSports.com. Always enjoy talking with you. Thank you very much for joining us. You got it, man. Thanks for having me.